My name is Cassie Fetters, and I'm with Artica Financial Services here in Anchorage, Alaska. If you're a state employee, then this video is for you. State of Alaska, PERS Tier 4 and TRS Tier 3 are defined contribution plans. A different way to put that is that you don't get a pension. However, you still do get some great retirement benefits, so let's review them together. The first thing we're going to go through is Supplemental Annuity Plan, sometimes called the SBS. The next one is a defined contribution plan, deferred comp plan, or 457. Deferred compensation is number 3. And the last one is a little known gem called the Health Reimbursement Arrangement. So let's go ahead and walk through those together. And then we're going to start with the SBS. SBS is an account that if you work for the state of Alaska or one of the following political subdivisions or affiliates who don't pay into Social Security, this is the plan that they created to substitute for that. Part of the SBS is that it's mandatory, just like Social Security is. If you work for a private employer, you put in 6.13% of your wages, and your employer also puts in 6.13%. This acts kind of like a traditional retirement account where you can't take it out till 59 and a half without penalty. You can do rollovers if you leave your employer, and you do get to direct investments. So unlike Social Security, you do get to have a login with Empower Retirement. You get to direct what investments are inside this SBS account. So those are some benefits over a traditional Social Security account. The next, type 2, is a defined contribution plan. So this is what most people think of as a 401k or 403b. This is the state of Alaska's version of that. The first thing that PERS Tier 4 that you would need to know is it's mandatory. You don't get a choice. So that's similar to the SBS where it's mandatory, you don't get a choice. This, you don't get a choice as to whether you contribute to. If you're PERS, it's 8% of your wages and your employer puts in 5%. If you're TRS, again, don't get a choice. It's mandatory. You put in 8% of your wages and your employer puts in 7%. And it is, in addition, TRS, because it's Teachers Retirement System, the union did negotiate a little more. So the employer puts in 7%. A few things about this defined contribution plan that pertain to both the PERS and the TERS are you can't take it out until 59 and a half without penalty. There are a few exceptions, but you can do rollovers. So if you leave your employer, you can roll it over to a different retirement plan or an IRA. And same as with the SBS account, it's an Empower Retirement account where you can direct the investment. So you can choose what's actually invested in, and you can choose the actual funds that you want this money in. So those are a few highlights of this plan. The next one that we're going to jump to, number 3, is the Deferred Compensation Plan, 457, or sometimes known as Deferred Comp Plan. This is the one that's voluntary. You get to choose whether you contribute to this plan. There's a pre-tax and there's a Roth option, and you get to choose one or the other, or both at the same time. You can choose a portion to go into both. You can contribute up to $22,500. Again, this is the one that's elective. So if you want to put in 0, you can. If you want to put in the max, you can. You get to elect how much you put in. If you're age 50 or over, you can put in an additional $7,500 a year. If you're 3 years from retirement, there's an additional catch-up provision that is a little complicated to enact. However, it is there, right? It's important to know with 457 that you get to direct your investments. You get to choose what mutual funds or funds you want to be in from the list given to you. Interesting thing about a 457 is that there are no penalties for withdrawing before 59 and a half. You can withdraw this at any time. However, you have to separate from employment. So if you're still working for the state of Alaska, working for one of the state of Alaska subsidiaries, you can't draw anything from your 457. However, as soon as you stop employment, retire, or find another job, whatever it is, you can take distributions without penalty. Of course, they are taxed, but no distribution penalty, so that 10% penalty. Let's jump to number 4, the interesting one, the health reimbursement arrangement or health reimbursement account. This is a little known benefit that Tier 4 and Tier 3 get. So let's talk a little about it. The health reimbursement arrangement is employer funded. You don't put any of your money into this account. The employer puts it all in there. And they set aside this account for you as a member, as an employee, but as a member, and it's a flat amount of the average 3% employees' annual wages. So they take all the employees and they take an average of 3% of those wages and they input that amount to every health reimbursement arrangement account. To be able to access this account, there's a very specific criteria. You don't get this at any time. If you leave service, you forfeit it. There's very specific criteria to access this account. You have to have 10 years of service and you have to be age 65. Those are pretty stringent criteria. However, if you meet those, it's an awesome account because the tax-free upon withdrawal for medical expenses. So you can tell that at this point you can pay your premiums. You could pay medical expenses, all tax-free. You didn't put money into this, so it's a really great account. But you have to meet the 10 years of service and you have to be age 65 or over. Okay. That kind of goes over the 4 main retirement benefits if you're State Alaska PERS Tier 4 or TRS Tier 3. It's some great benefits, and you may not have what's known as the best tiers with the pension and the medical subsidy. However, you do have some really great options within these 4 to really set yourself up for a great retirement. It's crucial to know about these retirement benefits available to you through the state of Alaska. These benefits need to be put to work today, no matter how close or far away your retirement is. We here at Artica Financial Services are here to serve you in any capacity that you need, whether that's a long-term relationship or a one-time meeting. Every family is in a different place, and we're here to meet you there. Thanks.